He got on his hands and knees and apologized for America. He goes to Saudi Arabia and apologizes for American actions. Wherever he went, he apologized for American actions. The mark of Neville Chamberlain is not the mark of America. But I'm not so sure Neville Chamberlain is the right model, by the way. Neville Chamberlain may be too benign a reference when it comes to Chairman Obama. We'll have to wait and see. So listen to what I just said. Write it down. Hear me out on this. And don't misinterpret or misquote me. I said it exactly the way I think it. And I think that at some point, this administration will produce exactly what the right says doesn't exist. Savage.
With Savage, you never know what to expect, and that's why you listen to his show every day.
The Savage Nation. Talk 910 KNEW.
It is the Savage Nation. We're going to move from is it worth having children and the cost of children to the issue of the birth Obama, where he was born. It's a big issue. It's a very hot issue. I've told you where I stand on it, and you can quote me on what I said. But right now we're going to go to a man who's been pushing this a long time. Philip Berg is our guest. He's been on the show before. I think long before this became a big issue, Mr. Berg was on the show. Now, the intriguing part about Philip Berg is that you can't call him a member of the right wing. Why? Lifetime Democrat, Assistant Attorney General, I believe, in the state of Pennsylvania. Yet he believes that there's something wrong here. Philip Berg, welcome to the Savage Nation. Go ahead, please. Did I state anything incorrectly?
Well, I was a Deputy Attorney General of Pennsylvania, but no big deal. Great to be on your show again, Michael, and hello to everyone out there in the Savage Nation.
Philip, you were on, over a year ago on this topic?
Oh, yeah. I first started in my first lawsuit was filed August 21st, 2008.
Now, there are others who have been pushing this very hard, like Joe Farah of WorldNet Daily, as you know, and now Lou.dobbs has picked it up and running with it, and he's getting attacked. So what's your position, Mr. Berg?
My position is 1,000% that Barack Hussein Obama, who I really think his legal name is not that. I think his legal name, and we can go into that, is Barry Soetoro. I think he's a total fraud. I think it's the biggest hoax against the citizens of this country in 230 years. You know, we're not dealing with someone stupid here. We're dealing with someone from Occidental, Columbia, Harvard Law School, head of the Harvard Law Review, practiced law, taught constitutional law for 10 years. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger, people talked about running for president. What's he say? Amend the Constitution. What's Barack Obama say? He basically says, I don't care about the Constitution. I'm walking all over the Constitution by his actions. We know nothing about Barack Hussein Obama. All of his records are sealed, not only the birth certificate, every record. And for his birthday, I put something out as far as on the Internet. I said, happy birthday, Barry Soetoro, a.k.a. Barack Hussein Obama, August 4th. Major issue. Has Obama legally changed his name from his adopted name of Barry Soetoro? If not, and we do not believe he did, Obama has committed fraud every time he signed his name in each of the 50 states to run for president, as well as ongoing since then.
Philip, wait a minute. You're a lifetime Democrat, is that correct?
Absolutely. I was a committee person in Philadelphia and Montgomery County, Pennsylvania for 31 years, chairman of the Democratic Party in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, member of Democratic State Committee for 8 years, and a candidate in the Democratic primaries in Pennsylvania for governor in the United States Senate.
So, wait a minute. So let's hold it now. So you're a real apostate. I mean, are you being attacked by Rahm Emanuel's machine?
No, I mean, I think they're afraid to come after me because it'll bring the story bigger than it is. But now it's growing by.
Well, Philip. That's what I mean. They're going after guys who are on the right, in the right wing, who are anti-immigrant, et cetera. But you're afraid. You think that the reason they won't even mention you is because you're actually one of them.
That's right, because that blows their story. I mean, they all get up there, and all these talk show hosts. Huffington Post had an article the other day, but the headline was the key. It said the only thing worse than birthers, which they say people like me are the non-birthers, because some of these guys are looking like idiots with some of the comments they're making out there. You know, they're waving documents and saying this is his birth certificate. Bill Maher the other day does a 10-minute rendition of against the birthers. I mean, why are they talking?
Yeah, well, what do you expect from a stoner from Hollywood? I mean, you know, he may as well be playing a stoner movie for what he has in terms of credibility. He's a nobody. Well, he's not a credible personality. He's just a stone comedian, in my opinion. But, you know, you're a guy who's spent his life in politics, Democrat politics, liberal Democrat politics in Pennsylvania, and you say that Obama is what? Not a citizen? Look, here's my position, and then we'll have the conversation, Philip. I said it before you came on the air. I don't know where he was born, but I think it's pretty dangerous to just go out on a limb and say he was not born in America and was sure of that. For one reason. Here's the reason. You're dealing with the most powerful people on earth. They produce money. They print money, rather. They print certificates. Why isn't it possible, or plausible, rather, that at some point they're going to forge a birth certificate that meets all the qualifications of such?
Well, yes and no. See, here's the thing. If they should have done that back in June of 2008, 2 months before I got involved in this. This topic's been around now for 2.5 years. In June 2008, they put on their campaign website a document called a COLB, C-O-L-B, a certification of live birth. But the document is like a fraud. It's a phony. If they were to do it, they should have done something. They should have had a better forger. I mean, what they put up there, you know, a 10th grader probably could have done. It's
okay, all right. So they had amateurs do it because they weren't yet in power. Right, but now that they run the printing presses, couldn't they forge an authentic birth certificate?
Well, here's the problem with doing that. When I first filed my lawsuit, I said, show me the long-form vault birth certificate and I'll go away. Since that time, it gave me time to investigate, and that's where we found out that he was adopted in Indonesia. How did he come back through there? Like, I want to see, number one.
Wait, let's stop right here. Hold it now. What do you mean adopted in Indonesia? Where was he born?
Even if he was born in Hawaii, which he wasn't, okay, I think that his citizenship is affected after that. But I really believe, you know, and we have a statement on our website, obamacrimes.com, from his step-grandmother, Sarah Obama, who's now 85 years of age. She states she was in the hospital when he was born in Mombasa, Kenya. Okay? Now,
Philip, but isn't the issue bigger than this? Isn't it not so much where he was born, but you distrust his loyalty to America and the principles of the Constitution? Isn't that what I've heard from you?
You know, why is he doing this? It's a total fraud. You know, and
all right, but let's assume I agree with you on that point. I think he's acting in a very dangerous manner in socializing the financial industries, then the auto industry, now the healthcare industry. I mean, what's next? The man is out of step with what America is. We all know that. Does that bother you at all, even though you're a Democrat?
Absolutely, because you know, if you really take a look at what he's doing, he's sending this country down the drain right now. We don't know what his ulterior motive is, and if he's really foreign-born like he believes he is, and he's lied about everything about himself. I mean, he even lied. It came out recently. He lied where he met his wife. I mean,
whoa! What do you mean? What do you mean about that?
He came out with some story about he met his wife someplace, and I don't know what it was, but he met his wife. It's documented at the Chicago law firm where they both worked. I mean, so, you know, if he can't even keep it straight, you know, if he has to...
So who is behind him? If you suspect that he's a foreign-born, nefarious character who's very Machiavellian and very smart, who's going to take America down the communist path to destroy this country's freedoms, which is what I hear, Philip, even though you're a Democrat. Pardon me if I'm putting words in your mouth. But who is behind him? Who found him? Who cultivated him? And who put him into this position? Who?
I don't have that answer, but I mean, if we had a free press in this country, and thank God for people like you we can talk about things like this, our national press has never vetted him. They whatever he says, they go, oh, it's wonderful. I mean,
Philip, did you see this morning when Obama came out with the cake for Helen Thomas? Did you see that on TV?
Yes, I did.
Did you see the faces of the so-called White House press corps? They looked like gawking children at a teacher's birthday party.
Right, at the end, they couldn't wait to shake his hand or touch him. I mean,
I couldn't believe what I was looking at. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. There was not an independent, cynical face in the crowd.
Isn't that disgusting? I mean, it really is. About a year ago, George Bush questioned whether Putin had a free press over in Russia. You know, we better start questioning whether we have a free press here in this country because they're just beholden to him. Do you remember back when, I'm sure you remember, Dan Quayle misspelled the word potato?
Yes.
They never let it live him down. But Obama has flaw after flaw after flaw. You don't hear it. I love the one about 2 months before the November elections when he arrived in Oregon. He said, I'm now in my 57th state, and my staff wouldn't let me go to Alaska or Hawaii. I didn't know we had 59 states in this country.
Well, wait. Maybe he meant Kenya and Indonesia.
Absolutely.
All right, so Philip Berg, lifetime Democrat. You doubt Obama's birthplace. You doubt his loyalty to America. Correct me if I'm mistaken. You're frightened of the way he's stepping on our freedoms and where this might go, as am I. Who in the mainstream media has had Philip Berg on? Have you been on Larry King?
Nope.
Have you been on O'Reilly?
No, and I've challenged O'Reilly. I did a pilot for O'Reilly when he first went on to Fox a number of years ago.
Yeah.
They won't touch this subject. They won't.
Well, you know that I've been banned in the UK, and I'm not going to switch it to that. You know what's happened to me. You know that O'Reilly won't touch this subject, nor will Fox. Do you know that? We're living in a place where there's virtually no voice of opposition